Vera Topasna. She is the Community Defense Liaison for Governor Lulian Guerrero. Good morning, Vera. So glad to have you on the show. First, we'll just start with, have you heard anything with the possibility that Afghan refugees or even American citizens may be evacuated from Afghanistan to Guam?
No, we have not had any confirmation. We kind of heard there's a lot of scuttlebutt out there, if you will, but we have not had any confirmation from DOD as of this morning, as of early this morning.
Okay. We understand that there was a meeting at Anderson Air Force Base yesterday. Was Adalupa involved, or anyone from the governor's office part of those discussions?
No, we were not.
Mm-hmm. And I understand that you were part of the delegation that went with the governor to D.C., right? I think you were part of.
Yes.
I don't know, part of the advance team. I'm not sure, but you had left prior to the governor.
Well, I had a conference out there, and then the governor came out a few days later. So, yeah, it's kind of advanced.
Okay, can you tell us about the conference then?
Yeah, there's a DOD conference for communities that our office is has membership in. So they did their first in face-to-face meeting since COVID. So we had an opportunity to attend that.
You said it was the Department of Defense that hosted the meeting?
No, it's a nonprofit organization. It's the Association of Defense Communities. We're members, and they have two conferences a year, and they bring out DoD officials to talk about policies affecting communities and initiatives that communities can pursue, whether it's grant related or partnerships.
Okay, so what were some of the takeaways from that conference that we might be able to implement or use here on Guam?
Well, they issued some policy activities that they're taking up in the NDAA, the Defense Authorization Bill, related to like climate change, which has become a priority initiative for Department of Defense and their installations. And so they rolled out what that policy looks like, what will be happening, in the coming months that communities could be involved in. We also were privy to the Office of Local Defense Community Cooperation that provides grants to communities to address mitigation infrastructure, which is where we usually get most of our money for defense-related impacts and mitigation. And so they're rolling out their second year of defense community infrastructure projects and defense manufacturing initiatives. So those are some of the key things. And then it's my first year being nominated and accepted in the Federal Outreach Committee of that organization. And so we look at, policy decisions in Congress that affect communities, and we kind of work together to talk about the synergies between our communities and going in as a group to address some of these concerns that we have.
Did you meet with anybody from, I guess, the Department of Defense or the State Department, or have any discussions with the possibility of Afghan allies being evacuated here while in D.C.?
Yes. So I think, during the governor's press conference about the trip, I was in almost all the meetings that she attended. And we were able to talk about the hospital to pretty much all of the federal agencies that we visited, to include Department of Defense. So that was a priority for the governor in talking to all these federal agencies. You know, among other initiatives that she had that are not directly related to Department of Defense. But yes, I was in most of those meetings.
What about this Army Corps Engineers visit, Vera? If you could kind of maybe shed a little insight on what was discussed, because I know that there was a press conference with the congressman that also featured the Army Corps. So what was kind of the difference between these two meetings, if you will?
Well, what I can say is that we've had the engagement, or the governor has had the engagement with Army Corps of Engineers since 2019. And that was at the time that she had requested for that study to be conducted on the condition of the hospital. And since that time, the new hospital, based on the evaluation, the construction of a new hospital has been a priority for the governor. So we've had several meetings in that regard with Army Corps. And I think this meeting in the last couple of days was really indicative of some of the activity that the task force, her medical action task force has been working on for several months now in gathering data to get us to the next stage or to the next level.
And is this, Vera, is this relative to, I mean, I know it's the governor's new hospital plan, but with this Army Corps thing, is this just one of the avenues that she's kind of exploring to bring down the cost of it?
Oh yeah, and utilizing their expertise. Obviously, they talked about planning and the charrettes that they could support the territory in planning for this new hospital and supporting the governor and the team. Yeah, it's something that we've been discussing with them, and they are very well known, as they mentioned, in planning. So that is a pathway that the governor is seriously considering.
All right. So you haven't heard anything about the Afghans, but if you did, you'd let us know.
And once the governor lets everybody know, I know that she will be notified by Department of Defense once an official word comes down, or the State Department.
Right. What are you tracking though? I mean, give it to me in percentages. What are we looking at? No idea at all.
We are not tracking any number whatsoever. We are not tracking any projected arrival of Afghans to the island. I probably would defer to DOD, who would probably be planning or required to plan in the event that there's a movement of Afghans to Guam.
We did defer to DOD, but then they deferred to the State Department. So
yeah, State Department is the lead agency. Yes.
So we're just going to email President Biden and get it over with. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Vera, for your time this morning. I know you got to run. Okay.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah,
Take care.
Too. Okay. Vera Topasna, the Governor's Community Defense Liaison. It's Wednesday, August 18th, right here on the